Yes, we can see your screen.
All right. So this is the Wayfinding and Science Project, creating a cohesive and effective wayfinding brand by Matthew Z. So the task at hand. The major problem of downtown St. George and the connecting towns are the lack of their wayfinding. Our goal is to rework their current wayfinding strategy that is active in this area and employ an effective and cohesive wayfinding brand that can attract new visitors and make it easier for them to move around and discover the amazing towns of downtown Staten Island. While it's easy to overlook wayfinding as a simple element of environmental design, where companies use graphics and imagery to guide customers in a physical space, it's also so much more than that. As a kind of spatial problem-solving strategy, wayfinding design is an integral part of the branding experience. So this was a quote that I took from Fabric. I really like this quote because it really shows that wayfinding is not only just something that you overlook most of the time. It's almost like a natural human experience to be able to find their way around a space, but also be able to not be. I'm sorry, I wasn't really prepared for this. It's important for people to find their way around this space, but also not to be focused on how to get around. For example, a good no, I'm so sorry. I'm breaking down here. Oh my God. Hold on. I need to chill. Um, so while it's easy to overlook wayfinding, it's also an integral part of a spatial design. So for people to get around effectively, they need to be able to find where they're going, but not be able to look at the signs and also lose themselves in trying to find their way around someplace. Understanding how we are able to expand the current brand of downtown Staten Island is an important factor in building a cohesive wayfinding system for new visitors to follow and be allowed to explore. So here are my branding concepts and designs. So the current branding, I wanted to take this branding here and also include it in the new blade styled signage. So here I was examining the current branding that Staten Island already has. So some of the elements here, you can see the signage is very bold, bright, simple, but it's also compact and easy to look at. It's very simple. They have simple shapes and it's nicely outlined and very easy to look at. I wanted to incorporate this design in the blade signage. Here you can see some examples of blade signage. And I think that by incorporating the style and feel of the current brand into blade signs and relating the signage, we can support local businesses and lead visitors to discover new places while keeping a consistent and fluid brand throughout the town. So this is very helpful for people trying to find their place or the new places around downtown Staten Island, because not only does it connect people to where they need to go or want to discover, but it also keeps everything connected together in a way that's easy to look at and very nicely presentable. Here are some of the businesses that I was looking at. One thing that I saw that is currently a big problem is that some of these restaurants and businesses were listed on the main website of Staten Island, but they don't really get the recognition that they deserve. So for example, in the website, they're listed under a small little section that's very hard to read because of the small lettering and the uncontrastive colors of the font. So here, I wanted to implement some of these restaurants so they can get the recognition that they deserve. Some of these include Pier 76, Cargo Cafe, Honor Wines, Flagship Brewery, Vinium, El Patron Restaurants and Lounge, Bay House Bistros, Barry's Pizza Pastas, La Caruana, Taverna on the Bay, Sagara Food City. Here are also some of the businesses, and I also added recreational areas because I'm currently working with the Tompkinsville Esma Park project. So I would think that connecting this along with the current blade signage that I'm trying to do for all these other businesses would help keep it even more connected and even present the downtown area even better. Here, I just wanted to quickly show a map. Here's the general map of where I'm working, and here's the effective area that I'm trying to incorporate the blade signage. Here, we see that you start at St. George Ferry Terminal, and all the way here, you end around the Stapleton Clifton area. Along this path, along the waterfront will be the Tompkinsville Esplanade project, where I'm going to help put signage along this area to help better incorporate the entire experiences for new travelers. That's all I have to show for you today.
Thank you, Matthew.
I'm sorry.
Well, no worries.
Don't be, Matthew.
Yeah,
Don't be. You did very good. It happens to the best of us. We all get nervous at times.
Yeah.
It was nice, Matthew. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Agreed.
What matters is the effort, and you put a lot of effort into that.
Elaborate, Lance? Yeah, Lance, go for it.
All right. Okay, so Matthew, I really like the way that you were presenting. Yes, you were getting a bit nervous, and you did take breaks. I will commend you for that. You saw that you were struggling with something, and you took a moment to recompose yourself. That I commend you for. Another thing I commend you for was the information that was put together. You were able to explain the information that was put into this presentation in small, manageable chunks, so that way everyone else could understand, which is also something I really do enjoy. So that's pretty much all I have to say. You did a good job with this presentation. Keep up the good work.
Asha, Thomas? Okay, Johnny Martinez. Your comment and feedback, Johnny.
I really liked his presentation. It was really informative. I guess he can add like a little bit less words to his presentations. And otherwise, I think he did good.
How about you, Emily? Filipino?
I feel like he did a really good job with this presentation. He showed really good photos and did a really good explanation on what each slide talks about. But other than that, I feel like he has to try not to read from the slides and make like a small script. But yeah.
And Savi, right? Savi, followed by Saba.
I think that everything that I think what the I'm just saying one thing that he could work on, or like just in general, like how it was.
Elaborate on that, Thomas.
Any
comments? Any suggestions or recommendations to how to make the presentation better, or maybe comment on personality?
Well, the presentation part was very informative as always. Not much to say about that. It's just mainly the speaking part. I understand it's kind of difficult, but I would just like practice by like just continuously like going over my slides, trying to get it right, because I know sometimes speaking, like presenting in general, is like really difficult. So that's the only thing. But it was very informative, and yes.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay. So I'm gonna go in terms of Matthew.
This project is different from many of the other projects because you have a lot to work on in terms of figuring out which stores, for the signage, the big signage project. And not only that you're working with the wayfinding, you also work with Tompkinsville. So you have to actually put two projects within one because you have to take consideration the other project. So the information is going to be a lot, and I like the way you're starting off with two images for site analysis, and then just breaking it down. But don't be afraid to take some of the images. I know you're still working on them. I know you have to work on them. But for the next stage, make sure it's how you're going to combine your previous presentation with this presentation that you're adding. Do not feel like you have to start from scratch because you had a lot of great, phenomenal slides in the last presentation that you could actually incorporate, especially your walk through the travel from the stage experience at the ferry terminal to the different areas that you went to. So you can perfectly combine it, especially the site maps and everything. Other than that, I know it's a work in progress, so I can't really speak on anything else but that. But make sure to combine and start seeing, analyzing what we can add. And then, of course, we're going to work with you next week to see what works and what does not work. Okay?
All right, thank you so much. Can I just say something really quick?
Yes.
I understand that splitting the presentation up, might not seem like the best idea, but honestly, I just wanted to start fresh for this presentation. My original plan was to incorporate everything that I wrote down, all the information that I gathered from this presentation, and then incorporate that into the other one. I just didn't want to use the other one because it's still, a work in progress. I just wanted to have a clean slate.
Yeah, definitely. And that's all that I And half of what I said was not only pertaining to you, it's the whole cohort as a whole, so that they understand that never take away from what you've done in the past, because you can always reuse. Okay?
Exactly. And what you want to do is that by combining it all together and presenting it over and over again, you start getting more acclimated to the content that you're giving your audience. You know what I mean? So it's just more practice for you. So you do want to present with everything, from start to where you are already. All right, Matthew? So one thing I wanted to say was that, I do respect that, the fact that you are definitely keeping a good sequence in your presentation. Like everything seems to be, in order. So you're telling somewhat of the story. I think that I did share with you a set of case studies, like a list of case studies. And I did not see any of them presented on this today.
No, yeah, I understand that. I know I probably should have included that, but I did go over those case studies. I know that some of the websites didn't work. I don't know what happened to them, but the other ones I did look over 100%. I mean, on the mural board, I was highlighting them, which ones I really liked. I know I should have probably included those, but I did go over those.
Okay. Did you find any images that were helpful?
I'm currently collecting some images from those case studies and also some from my own.
Okay, very good. So that's what we want to start seeing moving forward. All right. Begin with the design and the AutoCAD and all of that.
Right. Okay. I understand that. Thank you.
It's my turn. Matthew?
Yes, sir.
Can you load the presentation?
Hmm?
I just want to look at it again for a moment.
Is there a specific slide you want me to look at, or just
click to the next one? Next one, please. Yeah, I like the quote. It kind of provides a lens for the audience through which the audience can look. You're speaking to the importance of wayfinding here. So you're starting off with something of a philosophical statement or it is a philosophical statement that is a nice bookend to the piece. Just one more. Go ahead. A couple more or one more. I don't know where. Oh, this one. So you say current branding, right? So you're taking what is there, and you're incorporating it into what you have in mind for the signage, correct?
Right. At least that's what my idea is.
Yeah. So you're paying homage to what is already there. You're respecting the community and what it has already, and you're just building off of it. So you're using the community and what it has as your muse.
Right.
Yeah. So you're paying respect, and that's going to create buy-in on the part of the community as well, because you're like they're like, oh, this idea isn't just coming in and steamrolling everything that we have here. This is creating a puzzle piece that's going to fit in with what we currently have. And I mentioned something regarding consolidation earlier and synergy. So your project is looking to synergize with what is already there at the ferry terminal, and so on and so forth. Can you move ahead a little bit more? I love this. Yeah. I mean, it's not a fancy. This is not a very sexy slide. In terms of bells and whistles, but what it does show is that you are doing the research when it comes to the businesses there, and you've broken them down into categories. So there's a thoughtfulness here that shows that you have done your due diligence, as Kodio mentioned, and I really look forward to seeing where you go from here, because this is just your first step, right?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Right.
Great. It's clean. I would say you did a nice job with the presentation, but as you would admit, it's going to take some run-throughs, and to do this by yourself and to do this level of research is it's impressive. It's impressive for a sophomore in high school. Very nice. Well done.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Matthew, you will be joining us over the break?
Yes. Yes.
Over the break? You mean this break,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, he will be.
Yeah, of course.
Very good. Perfect. So we'll be working on it.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, over the break, we're gonna start. For this week, there's too much. We don't always work on